Betsy, none of this happens. The Global Women in Insurance Conference, the whole Women's Conference Series does not happen without you. Thank you. Thank you. Betsy has exemplified the work of the IICF and the Women's Conference. We're honoring her promotion from the IICF as Chief Program Officer. And actually, Betsy's been performing in this role for several years. To actually be able to now acknowledge her with this title is thrilling.
Since I started working with IICF, which was over 11 years ago, we have grown from a relatively small organization on the West Coast to 4 divisions in the U.S. We now have in the Northeast about 160 board members. My favorite thing that I've done since being part of IICF is actually developing the Women in Insurance Conference Series. That has been a passion for me. I think it's been wonderful to see the evolution of the conference series. It is not just gender focused, it is all kinds of diversity, leadership, innovation. The business of the insurance industry itself is all packaged into those conferences. This is our 7th year to do our conference series, and that brings our total of attendees over the years to over 6,700. So we are...
The women's conferences have been something that unless you've experienced them personally, you could not possibly imagine. The sense of energy and how we as women, and actually in more of a non-gender based way, feel we come together. I don't know another person that I could see communicating and conducting her professionalism on our behalf with such tremendous competency.
The experience of working with all the wonderful people around those conferences, and also the experience of people coming up and saying, this has made a real difference in my life, in my work life, in my company, and that this was really valuable and meaningful to me is extremely rewarding. Our theme for the conference, as we discussed yesterday, is Gender Equity in a Changing World. What you do matters, and we are rewriting.
Betsy's work behind the scenes is tireless. The amount of energy that it takes to raise the funds, to raise the awareness, and to pull together 600, 700, 1,000 women across the country is now something that is a hallmark of what the IICF is really known for, and we honor Betsy and her capability in every way.
I first met Betsy about 10 years ago, and she had approached me about joining the IICF New York Northeast Board. She was able to convince me that through the camaraderie you develop with the board members, that you can really make a difference, both raising funds, participating in volunteer activities, doing a lot of different things essentially that bring our industry together to do more for our communities than our communities actually realize we do.
Insurance is a people and a relationship business, and I have thoroughly enjoyed that. And it's been really remarkable to be part of the progress that we've made over the time that I've been with IICF. The proceeds from the Women Insurance Conferences actually went toward our early literacy initiative. I started out actually in my very first career was as a teacher, and there are some alarming statistics of what happens to children if they're not good readers by the time they get to the 3rd grade. We have partnered for several years with Sesame Workshop to produce some wonderful materials in both English and Spanish to help close the literacy gap. One of those initiatives provided 100,000 special Sesame Street books that we were able to distribute, all 105,000 books. We don't know how many lives that we have changed, but we feel that we have moved the needle a little bit on the lives of many of the children that we reached. The Chief Program Officer role is very exciting for me. I think we have an opportunity through IICF to create something new and very special. We did something groundbreaking. Now there are a lot of women in insurance conferences, but when we started, we were the only one. What I'm looking for in this role is to get inspiration from the industry to find that next groundbreaking program that brings value to the insurance industry and to the people that work in it and bring that to reality.
There's so many ways that she contributes to keeping our board on point, to doing what we need to do to make sure the IICF continues to grow across the industry and, more importantly, across all of our communities.
Betsy, we want to say congratulations to your work, your title, your role as Northeast Director, and we look forward to many years of you leading the Women in Insurance Industry Conferences, going from strength to strength. Thank you, Betsy.
We all have to take ownership of this in order to make progress. It's just remarkable to be able to work with volunteers on our boards, volunteers that we pull in to do projects, to work with a team that is supportive, also to work with nonprofits that are doing such good work around the communities where we live and work. So it's the perfect job. Women speaking up for themselves and for those around them is the strongest force we have to change the world. So hopefully we can change the world for the better.